Welcome to the NSIC Spotlight, the voice of the NSIC student athletes, powered by gpac. gpac, growing people and companies. I'm your host, Nick Corner, Assistant Commissioner at the Northern Sun. Today, we are joined by Reece Barnhart of the University of Mary wrestling team. Reece, thanks for joining us on the Spotlight.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Reece, you are a freshman this year on the UMary team, but you're very familiar with the town and the wrestling program. Tell us how you ended up as a Marauder.
I ended up here. First, my brother went here, so I got to know the team at that time and then the coaches really well, and kind of knew it was the place for me when I was a senior year, looking for a place to wrestle in college.
And what's it like staying in your hometown?
It's nice. I thought I'd want to get out more, but I realized pretty quickly that I like being close to home.
Comes to home and family. Very still early in your career, but do you have a major decided yet? Any career aspirations post wrestling?
Yep. I'm majoring in respiratory therapy with a focus on pre-med. Then after my time at Mary, I'd like to go to med school. And I guess if there's an opportunity for me to stay involved in wrestling, if I have time, I'd like to stay involved with wrestling.
All right, and then the goal, a doctor, specific field, or what are your thoughts?
Right now it's dermatology, but
Okay.
I heard it's pretty competitive, so I think I got my work cut out for me.
All right. Well, you got your work cut out for you on the mat as you had 4 matches last week. You're the reigning NSIC Wrestler of the Week after pinning all 4 of your opponents last week. You improved to 7-0 in dual action. Talk about the transition from a successful high school career to having been named Player of the Week.
It was definitely a big jump from high school to college, but I just kind of kept listening to my coaches, and then I guess if I kept listening to them and stay diligent and don't get too frustrated with myself and just keep wrestling.
Is there one thing that you would say is the biggest difference from high school to wrestling that you've noticed?
Probably more like the mental side. Like everybody wrestles is going to be probably a state champ, or they're going to be good no matter what. And just preparing yourself for hard 7 minutes every single match is probably the biggest jump from high school to college that I've noticed.
And how would you describe your wrestling style?
I like to think of my wrestling style probably as an aggressor. I want to go score points. Sometimes I don't always score a ton of points, but I want to be attacking.
We mentioned your pins last week, part of your attack style. Including in those pins was number 4, Patrick Alice of Western Colorado. Talk us through all those pins. Did you use the same move, or was it a unique situation in each match, or how'd those go down?
So first match against Dickinson, I took him down right away, and I think I cross-face cradled him. And then next match was an inside cradle. And then the third match against Pueblo, I think I had another cross-face cradle. And then in the match against Western Colorado, it was 4-3 going into the third. I just took him down in the third period, and he tried and hit a Granby, and I caught him on his back and pinned him.
Yeah, so 4 pins in a week, earning you NSIC Wrestler of the Week honors. The Marauders are off to a 7-0 dual start as well. They're 1-0 in the NSIC, ranked 20th in the nation. Tell us more about this year's team and some of the wrestlers that have led to early season success.
I don't know. This year, it seems like all the guys. I mean, it's only my first year, but it seems like all the guys have the same goals. They all want to get to nationals. They all want All-American, be national champs, and I think it's rubbing off on not only the starters, but all the backups and people that might not see the mat a whole lot as a starter. Just gives off the same, like, we all have similar goals, and it rubs off on each other. Makes it easy to, or doesn't make it easy, but makes it easier to come in and work hard for each other.
Coach Adamaho has been at the helm of the Marauders the past decade. Tell us what it's like to wrestle in his program.
When I first my first like thoughts of college is that it was going to be a lot more intense than high school, and which it is. And I thought it was going to be a lot more stressful, but Aho does a good job of making it laid back, and we can put the pressure on him if we're nervous about a match or something. And I don't know, it's easy to wrestle hard for him because he's an awesome coach.
Has there been one thing that he's taught you or one thing that he strives for all of his student athletes?
I think he emphasizes consistency a lot. Just no matter how you're feeling, just giving the same consistent effort every time, every practice, every match.
You got a big task coming up for the Marauders this Saturday when you travel to St. Cloud State for a 2 p.m. duel. The Huskies are ranked second in the nation, and your upcoming opponent, Garrett Voss, is ranked third in the nation. You're currently ranked eighth in the latest Division II poll at 133 pounds. What do you know about Voss, and how do you prepare for a big matchup like this?
I wrestled him in the beginning of the year, and my brother actually wrestled him his senior year. So that was like 3 or 4 years ago, which is kind of cool, I guess. But wrestling at the beginning of the year, it was, I think, my second college match, but I think I lost 8-3. I just got to clean up things from those matches, I think, and then keep wrestling hard, and good things will happen.
Was there one thing that you could take away or one spot in the match against him earlier in the season that if you could have back, you would, or is it basically just go out there and wrestle your match?
I'm just since then I've gotten a lot better, I think, and I think just go out there and keep wrestling how I have been, and the rest should take care of itself.
And what's coach's message to the team going in to St. Cloud State, one of the defending national champions and a perennial power in the NSIC?
Treat it like every other match. Keep wrestling how we have been, and good things will happen.
Yes, lots of wrestling left this season. Any individual, you kind of mentioned before, but individuals and teams goals for the season?
I think our team goal is to bring home a trophy from the national tournament, and then individuals just getting on the podium and either national champs or All-Americans would be awesome.
All right, as we mentioned, big match this Saturday, 2 p.m. in St. Cloud for you and the Marauders. I want to wish you the best of luck. Make sure you follow the Marauders and all the NSIC action on the NSIC network and at northernsun.org. That'll wrap up this week's show. Thank you again to our sponsor, gpac. Reece, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.